Welcome to the righteous sphere. We separate the gray areas over here. We don't do the lying like those other places. No. We don't do no fucking lying over here. You're gonna get the truth.
The day and age with social media, where women get bored at the drop of a hat because they got hundreds of guys that they beck and call online, Instagram, DMs, Facebook, whatever. And that's just online. Don't even get started when you go out. So women get bored and they get to doing all this other shit. It ain't nothing for a bitch to flake, lie, break up with you or nothing. You ain't never in your life seen so many women ask for space. Why? They got hundreds of dicks thrown at them every day on social media.
Women are more afraid of being alone than a man. So what happens is, it's so easy for a woman to grab up a little beta male that she could go to the gym with, that she could go on dates with, and pretend to be in a relationship until one day she decides to tell him, hey, I don't want to be with you. But he looking at it like, what did I do wrong? And the problem is she has to dispose of you before the guy that she wants finds out. All right?
Hey, Mama Terry is one who terrorized fathers for being their children's lives. That's one of them. That's the main definition, but there's so many others because the fathers are elderly out the picture due to failed relationship divorce. They tend to run the child's support just to get a financial gain and also have power over the child. That's a man's kryptonite when he's not able to be a father. And that's a woman's power structure. You know what I'm saying? So when I call baby mama Terry, it ain't got nothing to do with just somebody being a baby mama. No. It's just a baby mama Terry. Any woman, black, white, blue, or green, that is willing to destroy a father by destroying the child. So that's what a baby mama Terry is.
So what does that tell you? That tells you guys are tired of that generic bullshit. Generic bullshit. Guys are tired of that. Oh, you do the right thing, you tell her this, and you do that. We done with that bullshit, guys.
You say, man, I tried being alpha with her, she left me alone. Man, I didn't call her that much, she left me alone. No. She just didn't like you.
You know, I'm seeing more and more of these videos, and honestly, it makes me sad. Because guys have told women why. We've made it very clear why we're walking away. And we're walking away in droves, and it's only going to get worse because you're not hearing why we're walking away. It's very simple. Don't read between the lines. Hear these words. There is absolutely no benefit anymore to being in a relationship with a woman for a man. None. Zero. Zilch. Especially when you consider the risk compared to any potential reward. Roughly 55% of marriages end in divorce and the guy loses everything. Add into it all the relationships where they weren't married and the guy lost access to his kids and had to pay mountains of child support and so on. When you really look at it, there's less than a 1 in 4 chance of having a successful relationship. Would you risk everything you have? Would you risk your children and having access to them, knowing you only had a 25% chance of success? I doubt it. Add to it the expectations that today's women have are beyond absurd. We all joke about the 60s, but the reality is that is most women's expectation. You expect men to give, and offer nothing in return. I'm not saying any of this to be mean, but I am being blunt in hopes you'll hear it. Because we've said it over and over and over again. And yet, you're still asking us, why are you walking away? That, in a nutshell, is the crux of the problem. You ask us, but you don't want to hear the response. And if you hear it, you don't want to accept it. My honest advice to you ladies is this. Get a mirror, look in it, and ask yourself, what are we offering to men? Why should men want to be with us? And if your answer is things like you have a great career or job, or that you're going to cook and clean, none of that matters to us. Not in the least. What matters to us? Peace, loyalty, and acknowledgement. Something very, very few women give to their man. And until you're willing to give that, until you're willing to set aside your ridiculous expectations, those numbers you mentioned are only going to get worse.
Absolutely. What's good, squad? Sorry I'm late. Excuse me, that was me, guys. I was up early this morning. I was doing my thing, doing my morning routine. Then I sat back and dozed asleep. I went back to sleep, man. Shit, I be at peace, guys. But how y'all feeling? It's Sunday, fun day. We gonna have a great Sunday morning. We ain't gonna care about these demonic creatures, our flying roaches that we gonna get today. Cause today we gonna talk about the truth. We gonna talk about the end all be alls. Cause all these women run around here with all this scripture in their mouth and all this hate for their father in their heart. And happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the dads. You know what I mean? All the fathers. You know what I mean? Even you content creators who be hating stepdaddies, right? But y'all niggas is stepdaddies too. We stepdaddies, yo. We be helping these kids. These kids ain't ours. You know what I mean? We be helping them though. But happy Father's Day to all. You know what I mean? How y'all doing? All right, let's get started, guys. Let's get started. So who is Sky Zaddy? And why do the sisters worship him? You know what I mean? Because, this whole biblical thing, this whole Bible, this whole God thing, they like to exclusify it to just this one community. So since they exclusify it to this one community, we expect that community to really be about that, right? Because they want to exclusify this book when this book is for everybody, every nation. But they like to exclusify this book for themselves and then don't follow the book. Right? That shit makes no sense to me. Our sisters is they're silly right now, bro. They run around here looking crazy, playing sister soldiers. That's what I call them. I call them sister soldiers, religious ronders, because they ain't got no leader. They ain't looking for no leader, but they claim to know God. So let's get into it. Let's break down who Sky Zaddy is first, and then we'll break down how they got everybody hooked to worshiping this Sky Zaddy. So let's bring it up. Let's get it.
It has been biblically prophesied that there will be an entity who will falsely claim to be Christ, and that his arrival is the long-awaited second coming of the Son of God. Whilst it is thought by many to be one,
And this who they waiting for. They waiting for that second coming of the Antichrist, because Christ already here. Christ already down here on earth in all of us. So if you really want to be right and if you really want to do right, then you'll be able to do it because he down here in all of us. Now that one that y'all waiting for to come back, that's this one right here. All right. So you play yourself if you want. You can play their game if you want.
single entity, others see the Antichrist as multiple entities, as noted in the epistles of John, where the core mentions of the figure stem from. We also see another term in false Christ to describe the Antichrist, which can be found in the Gospels of Matthew, where Jesus warns his disciples about being fooled by false prophets that will pretend to be him.
Mm-hmm.
He's also seen as the man of sin in the epistles of the Thessalonians, all of which we'll speak about and aim to dissect in this video. It is in the New Testament, specifically the epistles of John, that the Antichrist is detailed, both in the plural and non-plural forms. The first epistle serves as a sermon to remind believers about the life and death of Jesus, and to reaffirm their belief in the one who died for their sins. The epistle reads in 2:18 through 19, "Children, it is the last hour. As you have heard that Antichrist is coming, so many Antichrists have come. From this, we know that it is the last hour. They went out from us, but they did not belong to us. For if they had belonged to us, they would have remained with us. But by going out, they made it plain that none of them belong to us. This is the first mention of the Antichrist in the Bible, and as we can see, the writer intends to reveal to us that the Antichrist is not one singular entity, but instead multiple entities, a group even, who though were spawned from the faithful, did not become faithful themselves, or went on to sin against man and God alike. It appears that this group left those who were faithful and sought to live separately in contradiction to the word of God. Those who were
Exactly. It's exactly what the feminist group is doing. They're living in total contradiction of what God is telling us. God telling us one thing, told us one thing, and feminism came on in and said, do the exact opposite. And the women bit on it. 85 to 90% of our women bit on this feminism way. And feminism paint God as a woman. We know that's not true. So that right there, that part right there is why I don't accept any sister coming at me with this Bible from her church. You know what I mean? You don't need your church. You don't need an entity. You don't need an institution to get right with your creator. All you need is you and your book. No middleman.
would live righteously, however, would be blessed by God, and the epistle seeks to strengthen this belief by reminding believers of what they will receive should they remain loyal. The epistle goes on to promise eternal life, but not before reminding believers that those who deny that Jesus is the Son of God are the Antichrist. It is told in John 2:22, "Who is the liar but the one who denies that Jesus is the Christ?" This is the Antichrist, the one who denies the Father and the Son. No one who denies the Son has the Father. Everyone who confesses the Son has the Father also. Let what you heard from the beginning abide in you. If what you heard from the beginning abides in you, then you will abide in the Son and in the Father. And this is what he has promised to us, eternal life. The last mention of the Antichrist in the Epistle of John is in 4:1-3, where it is stated, "Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits, to see whether they are from God. For many false prophets have gone out into the world. By this you know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh is from God, and that every spirit that does not confess Jesus is not from God. And this is the spirit of the Antichrist, of which you have heard that it is coming, and now it is already in the world." Through this, believers are warned not to trust every spirit that they may encounter, but to test these spirits to learn if they are from God or not. We are told that there are many so-called prophets in the world, and that many will try to fool the believers, but that it can be easily deduced as to whether they are true or not by whether they are able to declare that Jesus Christ has come from God. Any spirit unable to do this is thought to be of the Antichrist, and should therefore not be trusted.
Piles of paperwork and no time for strategic HR? Let Bob clear up your to-do list. Say hi to Bob.
Meanwhile, in the second epistle of the Thessalonians, an account thought to be written by Paul the Apostle, though often disputed, the Church of Thessalonica is given praise and advice on how best to continue their worship of God. The first chapter of the second epistle, entitled "The Man of Lawlessness," describes a figure that will seek to claim ownership over God's work and seek to set himself as the all-powerful being. This figure
Exactly. Make sure you pay attention to them churches. Them churches ain't got no greater connection to God than you got when you go do it yourself. Them pastors ain't no closer to God than you, dummy. But you run there to run to them. Run to them. They're part of the problem. They're part of that Antichrist strength that we talking about today. This how you know you ain't worshiping the real God. You ain't worshiping the Holy Spirit. You worshiping the devil.
will also attempt to convince followers of the faith that the Lord has already come, but this is a lie to furthermore establish his own master plan. The first chapter reads, "Concerning the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ and our being gathered to him, we ask you, brothers and sisters, not to become easily unsettled or alarmed by the teaching allegedly from us, whether by a prophecy or by word of mouth or by letter, asserting that the day of the Lord has already come. Don't let anyone deceive you in any way, for that day will not come until rebellion occurs and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the man doomed to destruction. He will oppose and will exalt himself over everything that is called God or is worshipped, so that he sets himself in God's temple, proclaiming himself to be God.
And that's your government, guys, so that you will following along. That's your government. Your government is the Antichrist, one of the Antichrists. Remember, it's entities. It's not just one. It's not just one. It's a bunch of them to get you to distract you from the one you're supposed to be worshiping. But it's not just one Antichrist. The government is one.
Interestingly, this figure in question is never referred to as the Antichrist, despite exacting the same principles and motives that the Antichrist is said to do. Instead, he is referred to as this man of lawlessness, one who is doomed to destruction, but also one who will proclaim himself as God. It is implied here that many will believe this to be true, and that many will be led astray by this false Messiah. The author of the second epistle of Thessalonians continues to remind the church of Thessalonica, "Don't you remember that when I was with you, I used to tell you these things? And now you know what it is, holding him back, so that he may be revealed at the proper time. For the secret power of lawlessness is already at work, but the one who now holds it back will continue to do so, till he is taken out of the way. And then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord Jesus will overthrow, with the breath of his mouth, and destroy by the splendor of his coming. The coming of the lawless one will be in accordance with how Satan works. He will use all sorts of displays of power through signs and wonders that serve the lie, and all the ways that wickedness deceives those who are perishing."
Hollywood is one of them tools that he used to deceive the people and have the people believing he has this magical power equal to our real God. Pay attention, guys. We just decoding. Stop worshiping Sky Zaddy, yo. Stop trying to use your Sky Zaddy to scare the real folks from doing what's right, right?
They perish because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion, so that they will believe the lie, and so that all will be condemned who have not believed the truth, but have delighted in wickedness. As you can see, we are told.
Now I'm gonna play that part back so that you won't miss that part. This is why we have people in a hell of a state of delusion right now, swearing that they doing the right thing, and they know damn well they ain't doing the right thing because they don't even feel good. It don't even feel good when they say it.
And then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord Jesus will overthrow, with the breath of his mouth, and destroy by the splendor of his coming. The coming of the lawless one will be in accordance with how Satan works. He will use all sorts of displays of power through signs and wonders that serve the lie, and all the ways that wickedness deceives those who are perishing. They perish because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion, so that they will believe the lie, and so that all will be condemned who have not believed the truth, but have delighted in wickedness. As you can see, we are told that the man of lawlessness, or what some may perceive to be the Antichrist, is already at work, but that Jesus Christ will eventually overpower him and destroy him. We get a glimpse of this figure's role.
This is why I tell you, they may appear to be winning. They may appear to be winning right now, but they do not win. They do not defeat us. Nowhere in our book do it say they defeat us. They don't. Now it's just a matter of, are you going to be here to enjoy the celebration? Some of us might not be here. I might not even be here to celebrate with what we leaving down right now. But it's going to happen. They do not defeat us. Evil do not win. They cannot win, bro.
Within the world. that he will use miraculous powers to convince man of who he is, and that he will lie and deceive in order to get humanity to bow before him. Those who do fall for his schemes, though, will perish, because they refuse to.
The women fall for it. The women fell for it, and they're suffering. And I'm talking women of all nations. Ask the single mothers running around here how hard they suffering, because they put them kids first instead of putting God, man, woman, then child. Ask them. It's not a game out here. We see them working with the devil. People have made poor choices and poor decisions to the point where they can't even work with the real God anymore. They're so tied to deals that they made off of bad information, or for not having the right information. They locked in contracts right now as we speak with the devil. They want to do right, but they don't have the right information to do right. So they continue to do wrong and lock themselves into to debts with the devil and all types of weird shit.
To see the truth, and so cannot be saved. Interestingly, we also see that these people are damned from the beginning, as God then sends them a delusion so powerful that they cannot help but be sucked in by the ploys of this man of lawlessness.
From the beginning, I tell you, from your mama womb, that generational curse just put on you. And if you don't get it off you, if you sit here and wait for somebody to take it off you and you don't get up and go get it off you, you a fool, a wholehearted fool, bruh.
There's people walking around out here that are soulless avatars simply operating on matrix programming. They're living, but they're not alive. And they're all around us. They're all over the place. People that have never woken up to who they truly actually are. They simply are operating on the code that they've been programmed and given since they were born, since they were even in the womb and at gestation. The same code, just running on programming, never exceeding the programming, never reprogramming the programming, never editing it, never hacking themselves, just running on the pure code and living a complete lie, believing that they're alive, but they're not.
Facts, guys. I want to tell you another little stat right now, real quick, before we get back to the video. You do know that the most poorest countries in the world are the most religious. Go look it up. You know how y'all do anyway. Y'all don't believe nothing that a black person say anyway, but the poorest countries are the most religious, and it's by design. I ain't say that they the holiest. I just said they're the religious. They're poor and they're the most religious. So if you let government Zaddy suck you into worshiping him and you're poor, then you're a fool. Because God, when you worship the real God, he give you blessings. He give you blessings. You know what I mean? The stuff that y'all be running around here telling people, oh, if you don't humble down, God gonna take it. No. Our God ain't finna take nothing that we worked for and put him first for. That's your God. Your God takes shit back that you didn't earn. That's why he took it back, because you ain't earn it. But yeah. Start following. Think for yourself, yo. That's all I do over here. It's triggering when somebody challenge you to think for yourself.
We get a glimpse of this figure's role within the world, that he will use miraculous powers to convince man of who he is, and that he will.
And you gonna end up like R. Kelly, my nigga, touching on little kids, bro, because the grown ladies don't want fool with you because you're a dummy. So you know what I mean? I guess we even, nigga. I guess we even.
He will lie and deceive in order to get humanity to bow before him. Those who do fall for his schemes, though, will perish, because they refuse to see the truth, and so cannot be saved. Interestingly, we also see that these people are damned from the beginning, as God then sends them a delusion so powerful that they cannot help but be sucked in by the ploys of this man of lawlessness, and that for this.
Look at that nigga, light to earth. He sucked in. He sucked in heavy. He heavily sucked in. Let's see who perished first, bro. Cause I'm climbing. I'm climbing, bro. As God is my witness. Amen, brother. How you living? How your blessings is adding up? Cause that's how you judge the truth. That's how you know the results. Watch the results. You watch the results of the false prophets. That's how you know. See, y'all sit here and y'all watch people materialistic results and how much money they have and all that. That shit don't got nothing to do with it. It don't got nothing to do with results. How peaceful are they?
This, they will be condemned for not having seen that which would have been clear had they been righteous. Another key point to talk about here in the second epistle is the 7th verse, which tells us, "For the secret power of lawlessness is already at work, but the one who now holds it back will continue to do so till he is taken out of the way." There has been some debate as to who exactly it is that is holding back the secret power of lawlessness, but some contemporary theories suggest that this force at work is actually the Roman Empire, and at the fall of the Roman Empire, it made way for the prelude of the Antichrist.
Bingo, bingo. That Vatican. There go that Vatican. Now we getting into fair usage territory. Fair use, YouTube. Fair use. Educational purposes only.
Unlike the Epistle of John, the Antichrist here is not considered to be a group of people, but instead one singular entity, this man of lawlessness.
The pineal gland has tiny little cilia, hair-like extensions all around.
This idea is furthermore echoed in Matthew 24, a chapter titled The Destruction of the Temple and Signs of the End Times, which sees Jesus explaining to his disciples what to look for in the final age when he returns. Jesus states, "Watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, claiming, 'I am the Messiah,' and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom."
We see that right now. We see this right now. We see this right now. Nation against nation, right? Everything black versus white. Black versus white. The Bible for black people, not for the white people. Everything nation versus nation, right? We see this right now. So where is the lie? Where's the blasphemy at? Where's the mocking of God at when we here telling the truth? You got to get rid of that mental illness in your mind, sir, that got you wanting to work with the devil, but your biology is what God gave you. That know what's right. But you want to do what the devil and his media got you doing, right? Let me guess. Your mama raised you, right? Your mama raised you. She raised you a good US citizen, right? She let the TV and the media raise you, and now you give her credit for raising you, right? Your mama raised you. Dummy. Big facts right here. Big facts right here. Where that's at? They do worship child support. Exactly. That's what they worship. That's they Sky Zaddy. They ain't worshiping no real God because don't nobody holy worship division. God is not about division. You know what I mean? And he a jealous God. So, oh, my kids come first. Them bills come first. Y'all that put everything first before you put your God, you can't be holy. You can't possibly be holy. So get triggered. Get triggered. Let it swell all up in your chest. Type all in my chat. Get mad. I'm telling you. You probably pulling your stockings on right now to run inside that building and be phony.
There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains. Some see some parallels in Jesus' statement here to the world in which we currently live in, and therefore see these signs as the end times, and an inclination that Jesus' second coming is imminent. Incidentally, this would also mean that the false prophet is imminent as well, this very Antichrist or man of lawlessness that we have been discussing. In the same chapter, Jesus elaborates furthermore, telling us, At the time, if anyone says to you, "Look, here is the Messiah," or "There he is," do not believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. See, I have told you ahead of time. So if anyone tells you, "There he is, out in the wilderness," do not go out, or "Here he is, in the inner rooms," do not believe it. For as lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man.
Exactly, y'all. And watch how y'all throw around that GOAT statement. Stop goating everybody, bro. The greatest of all time is God, my nigga.
Mark 13 tells us the very same story of Jesus, explaining the signs of the end times. But most notably, he tells us in 13:22, false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. So be on your guard. I have told you everything ahead of time.
Exactly. Those are the ones that they don't be their natural self because they be exactly who you need them to be to cater to your feelings. Those the ones that get on here with their half-ass information and they may not curse and they all grammatically correct and they all, you know what I mean, articulate, and they got all the lights and all of the stuff that y'all like. All the stuff that y'all attracted to, and then they suck y'all in, and then they spew they half-ass information to you, and then you love it. You love it. Then you find a brother like me. I'ma be who I'ma be. I'ma be me, and I'ma give you the raw, brutally honest truth. You can't take that though. Mm-mm. You need to manipulate me. You need, oh, stop cursing. Or the truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. There's no nice way to tell the truth unless you lie. And I can't do that. I'm not doing that. You got your government that'll do that to you. The government are paying a nice lie up as the truth. We need the truth. We need the brutal, honest truth. We don't need that panda shit. That shit ain't helping us. Absolutely, y'all. Y'all getting it now. Y'all getting it now. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you a secret, y'all. Remember when 2020 rolled around here? And I mean, all those entities that we thought would always stay open, and that, no way in the world the courts are closed down. No way in the world they'll shut the schools down. No way in the world they got the agriculture department shut down. Bro, we gonna break it down today. We gonna break it down today, bro. When we talk about everything fake has now become the new real, we gonna really go into depth because they got the people, real good people, because not all of these people that worship Sky Zaddy are assholes. Keep that in mind. They have real good women and men who want to be holy, who want to connect with their inner spirituality, but they were taught how to do it wrong. You get what I'm saying? And they so stubborn and stupid, they don't want to believe that their moms or dad or grandmother or auntie didn't have the answer, Sway. So let's go. We gonna get it. All them entities got shut down because God wasn't playing. God wasn't playing. He shut them all down, guys. Remember what we just saw in 2020. Bro, everything was niggas was we was via satellite, everything. Everything was shut down. That tell you the power of the real God, bro. Government shut down everything, bro.
Another account which some relate to the Antichrist is one of the four visions by the prophet Daniel, more specifically Daniel 7:8, which sees the emergence of a little horn that grows out of a terrible beast. Daniel tells us, "In my vision at night I looked, and there before me was a fourth beast, terrifying and frightening and very powerful. It had large iron teeth. It crushed and devoured its victims and trampled underfoot whatever was left. It was different from all the former beasts, and it had 10 horns. While I was thinking about the horns, there before me was another horn. a little one, which came up among them, and 3 of the first horns were uprooted before it. This horn had eyes like the eyes of a human being, and a mouth that spoke boastfully. In Daniel's vision, he sees 4 beasts representing 4 kingdoms. The first 3 are thought to represent Babylon, Persia, and Greece. The 4th beast, though, is thought to be the most dreadful, the most terrifying, and the most frightening. It came with large iron teeth, and a set of 10 horns, but whilst Daniel is examining these horns, he notices a smaller horn begin to grow amongst them. This horn is the most unusual, with human-like eyes and a mouth that boasts. Daniel is so troubled by this one particular horn that he asks an angel in 7:19 to explain it, which the angel tells him in 23 through 26, the 4th beast is a 4th kingdom that will appear on earth. It will be different from all other kingdoms and will devour the whole earth, trampling it down and crushing it. The 10 horns are 10 kings who will come from this kingdom. After them, another king will arise, different from the earlier ones. He will subdue 3 kings. He will speak against the Most High and oppress his holy people, and try to change the set times and the laws. The holy people will be delivered into his hands for a time, times and half a time. But the court will sit, and his power will be taken away and completely destroyed forever. Then the sovereignty, power, and greatness of all the kingdoms under heaven will be handed over to the holy people of the Most High. His kingdom will be an everlasting kingdom, and all rulers will worship and obey him.
That's a fact. We see that to this day. John Pollock. You don't have to. Hold on, John. Let me tell you something real quick, John. And this goes for all aspects and all areas of your life. All right. Just because the shit say comment, don't mean you have to comment.
5 supernatural things that most people don't know about the Bible. One is God used 40 different men from the Middle East and Africa to write the Bible, and most of the guys never even met each other, yet their writings match perfectly. 2, most people don't know that the Bible has 2,500 prophecies, and over 2,000 have already come to pass. 3, the Bible actually is full of secret codes that foretell the future before it even happens. 4, the Bible is full of algorithms and mathematical codes that are more advanced than the computer. Go look up the gematria. And then 5, this is my personal favorite, and that is the Bible is the most read, it is the most debated, and it is the most purchased book in planet Earth. The Bible was removed from the bestseller list because if they did not remove it, no other book would ever win.
Can be seen, the horn takes on a very similar role expected of the Antichrist, in that he speaks against the Most High and seeks to oppress people of the faith, whilst changing the state and law of things, likely to upset that of the faith. It's understood that his rule will in fact take place for a total of 3 years, before his power is taken away and he is destroyed by God. Some see the entirety of the 4th beast to be a representation of the Roman Empire, and that the little horn is a world leader who would take on the role of an Antichrist. Others believe that the emergence of this little horn suggests a resurgence of the old Roman Empire, or at least a similar system that will comprise of 10 world leaders, 3 of which will be manipulated by the little horn, or the Antichrist, to help him achieve his vision. He will be a true tyrant as he seeks to control every aspect of one's life, and may even expect or demand worship on a global level.
Now, who that sound like? Who want control of everything you do? You can't homeschool. There's no way around homeschooling. You gotta put your kid into their system. You know what I mean? You can't even grow nothing in your own backyard. Motherfuckers gotta know what you're doing. You can't do nothing that was left for us to do for free without going through them. Think about it. And they not God. The government is they.
How did everyone suddenly get so good at writing? WordTune.
There have been some figures in history who have been associated with or even accused of being the Antichrist. Pope John XV was accused of being the Antichrist in the 10th century by the Archbishop Reims Alnoth.
I give you one of our versions. Tupac. Just let that sit there. Let that sit there. Tupac. Think about how many a generation of men run around here with this thug life mentality, this I don't give a fuck mentality, this hopeless, this victim ass mentality. Worship them too. I mean, it long gone. The boy died, and they still a worship this man. You see that Machiavelli album cover, right? Antichrist.
Who was deposed from his post. Bitter over this decision, Arnold would say of Pope John XV that he was both ignorant and illiterate, and
Alex Smith, yo, how you reading my mind, Alex Smith? Because I've been building my own shit. In fact, I've been building my own shit. This is one of my builds right here. This YouTube channel. This is one. I'm to be frank with you. I'm building like 7 different things right now as we speak. I'm building. So you building? Are you building your own stuff? I mean, that's the question. It's easy for you to tell me to go build something, but are you building something, my nigga? I'm building 7 different things. What you building? Huh? Because now you giving me female vibes. You giving me white woman vibes right now, man. So aside from building babies and laying on your back, what are you building? And you got the nerve to tell me what am I building, man? This live right here add more value to people's life than anything you ever added to this world, man. Yeah, now it's funny, right? That's weak behavior. We went over that. We went over that last week. That laughing stuff. That's weak behavior. We over here talking big facts, big serious talk. How you can get out of poverty, man. I'm not complaining about the government. I'm not. When did you hear me complain about the government? See how triggered you are? Do you see how triggered and dumb you are, bro? It's Sunday morning, and you already all over the place. You all over the place. I mean, you walked into some mental health issues right now that Alex is showing us. Alex Smith is showing us his cards. He's showing us his hand. He got no truth in him. He is like the devil, his father, on Father's Day. Congratulations, dummy. He hit. Yeah, hit dogs holler, boy. You know, all we doing is talking big truth and big facts and how to cleanse your Holy Spirit and get rid of all that stupid shit on your subconscious mind. But that ain't good enough.
implied that he and his associates were ungodly and did not deserve to be where they were. He went on to say that as the Pope sits in the house of the Lord, surrounded by gold, preaching the word of God, while still being immoral, was certainly a sign of the Antichrist in the flesh. He would be the first Pope to be accused of being the Antichrist, but certainly not the last. Pope Gregory VI was accused by Cardinal Benno.
Yo, my Goodbread white supporters, my white breads, right? My real rights, my real rights. Get y'all people together, yo, because this is why my people be like, yo, this Bible not even for y'all. Because we taught that y'all don't even believe in this shit. So this is why we don't even really let y'all in on good information. Because of the way you see Alex, get your mans in them, yo. Get your mans in them. Good breads. My white bread supporter, get your mans in them, yo. Because they make y'all look crazy when it come to this Bible joint. This is why we got those little stereotypes about y'all. You know, I tell the truth, man. Fuck all that lying shit. But this is why you go to them churches and they be having no whites, no whites. I would never do that to my channel. But this is just an example of why. You know what I mean? This is why. So don't make it like, oh, black guys are mean. No, we're not mean. It's just y'all got some fools, bro. Y'all got some fools in y'all nation. Check y'all nation, man. I'm going to check my nation. You know me, I have no problem checking my nation, and then we meet at the middle. Because right is right, wrong is wrong, good is good, and evil is evil, right?
Of being a member of the Antichrist, or the Antichrist himself, going on to write lengthy and scathing accounts of necromancy, torture, and the commissioning of assassinations by the Pope during his papacy. Prince Archbishop of Salzburg, Eberhard II, would denounce Pope Gregory IX as one that many saw as an
Yeah, the funny thing, right, Matthews? The funny thing is, right? Since we keeping it real, them stereotypes ain't stereotypes, right? Them stereotypes ain't really stereotypes. Them stereotypes come from our behavior, our bad behavior as a nation, right? Keep it real, cause we real. Hell yeah, we all got some stereotype shit. I know all of them. I know all of them.
Antichrist, and would even go on to say that the entire papacy was the same little horn that Daniel had seen in his vision. The sentiment was echoed by many Protestant reformers of the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries, who would come to see the Church as having led the masses into the great apostasy by influence of the papacy, and that all popes were forms of the Antichrist. Such a belief was interesting because the Antichrist, as far as Jesus' teachings go, tell us that he will show up during the final age, proclaiming to be God himself. But by this Protestant idea, the Antichrist is a constant being, one who has long since infiltrated the church and poisoned the masses with falseness and deception.
Exactly. It's not about perfection. It's about honesty, and it's about total truth, removing the falsehood. Cause the Antichrist not. The Antichrist gonna spread the lie. The Antichrist gonna run with the lie. He gonna go with the itching ear. Oh, that's what the people want to talk about? That's what the people want to hear? So that's what I'm gonna talk about. You see, that's what the Antichrist do. The real gonna always address the sin. And if the people want to hear it, the people gonna come and hear, all right, what are you talking about today? I'm gonna hear it. Never will I address the itching ear, what you want me to talk about. I'm gonna always talk about what y'all need to hear. And if you want to hear it, you come in and hear it. And if not, you go. You know what I mean? Simple. But yes, it's not about perfection. It's about honesty, and it's about being truthful. Nobody perfect.
The main principles that may lead some to believe that the papacy is of the Antichrist is likely from the fact that the Pope takes it upon himself to rule the church, a church that many believe belonged to Christ and only Christ, and therefore should not maintain a hierarchical system that establishes a leader as such. Another idea is that, as many sources believe, the Antichrist is prone to stick around for a while, similarly to how the papal system works, in that one pope leaves and another takes his place.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll let you guys argue in the comments about what you think about these particular ideas. Roman Catholicism teaches that there will be a set of trials that must be undergone before the second coming of Jesus, and that the ultimate trial will be where Christians receive solutions to problems or are offered great riches and powers at the cost of apostasy. This will be the Antichrist's offering, as he tempts man off of the righteous path, as he glorifies himself and accepts man's blessings and gratitude for that which he gives them. An excerpt by Roman Catholic Bishop Fulton J. Sheen wrote in 1951, "The Antichrist will not be so called, otherwise he would have no followers. He will come disguised as the great humanitarian. He will talk peace, prosperity, and plenty not as means to lead us to God."
Matthew La, who's your mama, might I ask? Who's your mother? What's her name? What's her profession? What does she do? You know what I mean? Because I need to link up with her. Because it's not too often I don't know a lot of mamas that could teach me a lot. You know what I mean, my own mama really can't teach me not this stuff. Now, she could teach me how to be nice. She could try to teach me how to stop cursing. But this type information, I don't know no mamas. Oh, your mom's worked in a postal service. Serious knowledge, okay. She probably one of them anointed ones.
But as ends in themselves. He will tempt Christians with the same.
But I can tell she got you on your joint, yo. How was your father though? What you learn from your father? That's what's up. That's what's up. How was your dad?
Same three temptations with which he tempted Christ. He will have one great secret which he will tell to no one. He will not believe in God. Because his religion will be brotherhood without the fatherhood of God, he will deceive even the elect. He will set up a counter-church. It will have all the notes and characteristics of the church, but in reverse and emptied of its divine content. It will be a mystical body of the Antichrist that will in all externals resemble the mystical body of Christ. Other Christian interpretations see the Antichrist not as a person or people, but as a reoccurring situation that threatens life and has extreme consequences. Such situations could be world wars, terrorism, genocide, and/or humanitarian disasters.
Bingo.
Others see the Antichrist embodied in actual figures, as mentioned earlier, in the form of popes, but more specifically the Roman emperors Caligula and Nero. Meanwhile, the Antichrist is also thought to be related, at least metaphorically, to several other figures in the Bible, including the dragon from Revelations, or Lucifer, the beast, the false prophet, and the whore of Babylon. Meanwhile, in
Bingo.
Judaism, there doesn't appear to be an Antichrist.
Bingo. You see it right there. You got your Lucifer, you got your Lilith, and then you got their false prophets that's running around here. That's their trinity right there. That's their trinity. That's their false trinity right there. You got the man with power. You got his little woman, Lilith, the modern woman, his tool of destruction, and then you got the believers, the dummies, the sheep, the majority. You ain't got to fool everybody. All you got to do is fool the majority, and everybody going. Everybody got to go.
Unless you consider the figure known as Armilus, who is thought to persecute believers under his reign until the final day, where he is destroyed. Like the Antichrist, his mission to hold dominion over the faithful remains the same, but unlike the Antichrist, he does not try to impress upon them, nor try to pretend that he is a holy figure. While little is put forth about Armilus, it is understood that he is the son of Satan and an unknown virgin woman. He is often thought to be a horribly disfigured-looking man with a bald head, mismatching eyes, deaf, crippled, and with one arm significantly longer than the other. In Islam, however, the Antichrist takes the form of al-Masih al-Dajjal, or simply the Dajjal, meaning the deceiving Messiah. Whilst he is absent in the Quran, he is spoken about in the Hadith, a record of words and actions of the Prophet Muhammad. Much like Christianity,
And this is why I tell you guys, when you go down these rabbit holes, make sure you don't be biased. Don't just pick one religion, you know what I mean, to study. You got to study all of them. You got to study all of them. You know what I mean? You got to know what all of them saying, because they're very similar. They're very similar to each other. Just a little difference here, there, but they're very similar. You got to know all of them, guys. Don't get hooked to one, because that one is used to tell you that the other one is bad. The religion is a business. Now, the teachings in the Bible and the religion are two different things. Two different things. The word of God and religion, two different things. So don't go picking a religious group to go follow. You don't need to pick a religious group to go follow, a religious business to go follow. Because what did I tell you earlier? The most religious cultures, the most religious nations are the poorest. And it ain't supposed to be like that. It ain't supposed to be, because God don't want his people with, God people not poor. For a fact, I know I'm a God child, and I ain't poor. Poor-minded, poor-pocketed, none of that shit. You got too many people running around here thinking they're believers in God, and God got them poor. God don't got you poor. Your lack of effort and your lazy thinking got you poor. And the way you've been taught this Bible shit got you poor.
the Dajjal is thought to emerge out of the east and will perform miracles in the way Jesus once did, including healing the sick, and even raising the dead. It's understood that many people will be deceived by him, most of them sinners or the vilest kind, but that he will be destroyed when Jesus eventually returns. But let me know your thoughts about the Antichrist and what you think will happen in the end times for our world. Do you believe that there is an Antichrist and that he will fool the world in a time where many are looking for something to believe in? Or do you think that the Antichrist is already amongst us, not a person, but a culmination of events that affect the way in which we live?
Man, there's so many antichrists amongst us, man. There's so many that's just amongst us, bro. So many, bro. You can see, like, for example, Diddy took form of an antichrist, and you see what happened to him. I mean, they can't reign for too long, though. They gonna all fall. They gonna all fall. But let's go. Let's connect this into the worldly world, guys. That's the spiritual, right? Everything happens in the spirit before it happens in the flesh. So that's how it's deemed in the spirit world, the Antichrist. Now let's look at how they adapted to our American culture. Now remember the calf, remember the four entities. Breathe, y'all. This is gonna get deep right here, bro. Cause I know y'all want to believe what y'all want to believe, but not on my watch. You don't get to believe that dumb shit on my watch. When this live is over and you leave, you can go back to believing all that stupid shit.
Oh my gosh. Stop fucking lying.
Today we were running an exercise for a company, bearing in mind I'm now in the private sector, and we sat everybody down in the city, 1,000 people involved in the whole organisation, but the crisis team. And the most peculiar thing was we based our scenario on the simultaneous attacks on the Underground and mainline station. So we had to suddenly switch an exercise from...
That's a fact. That's a fact right there. That's a fact. That's a fact they drew that. She talking about the hold on, now I gotta play it. That's why we put it right there in the garbage. Put that thing in the garbage can. Put that thing in the garbage can. That's where the doo-doo is. Hold on. You spot on though. Y'all gotta watch it, man. Put it in the garbage can. That's a painting right there. They painted that right there, guys. That's not how he looked.
Got a big old booty, and everybody says, she's a fine booty. The booty is where the doo-doo is, boy. Put there by God, that's the garbage can. So how you get so messed up with this white boy? You think the bigger the booty, the finer it is. That's like going to Kmart. You see a big old garbage can, that's the filth. And now we can convince her she wants switching that big old booty and all of that. It ain't nothing but doo-doo in there.
Yeah, you gotta put those pictures by the garbage can. Y'all shouldn't be idolizing those pictures, man. You don't need the picture here in your heart. Just keep them in your heart. But let's get it.
Fictional to real.
Just to get this right, you were actually working today on an exercise that envisioned virtually this scenario.
Almost precisely. And we chose a scenario with their assistance, which is based on a terrorist attack because they're very close to a property occupied by Jewish businessmen. They're in the city, and there are more American banks in the city than there are in the whole of New York. A logical thing to do.
This is the United States Embassy in a country we shall call land. Psychological operations. This man is the expert on the subject. His name is Leo Hamilton, and he is a lieutenant colonel in the United States Army. Earlier today, he was designated the Psychological Operations Staff Officer Advisor. Soon, with the other officers on the advisory team, he will be flying to host land. In the area of psychological operations, PSYOP, Colonel Hamilton qualifies as a veteran with considerable field experience. Now he is building on that knowledge, supplementing it with specifics concerning host land, its geography, its economy, its governmental structure. Above all, he is concerned with its people, their way of life, their religion, their culture, their sense of national identity, or lack of it. He must know the people of Hostland, for their minds will be his primary objective.
He said, for their minds must be his primary objective, yo. Ain't that some hot shit? I told you guys, you've been studied. While you run around here trying to be accepted, you know what I mean, in this world been studying you. Now this world know all your emotions, all your feelings, and they know how to take all your money. You got to unhook. You got to start thinking for yourself. You got to get out of this, I feel, and you got to get into what you know. You got to continue to learn. You got to reprogram your mind, bro. This is definitely psych ops right now. They playing on y'all intelligence, especially you ones that can't think for yourself. So you need people to make choices and decisions. You need the news. You need these social media influencers to tell you how to think. They are part of the system.
For their minds will be his primary objective. As promised by the ambassador, a team of American military advisors arrives in Hostland just a few days after that country's official request for assistance. Their initial destination is the United States Embassy, and they are met by a representative of the military attaché. Like the others on the team, Colonel Hamilton has come to his assignment well prepared, but he still faces many hours of additional study and research before he can begin to initiate a PSYOP program. At the embassy, he meets with the local United States Information Service representative for a briefing on all programs that may be already underway in Hostland.
All right. You wouldn't want to be clashing. You want to be clashing agendas, right? These programs that they're talking about is agendas, guys. Stay with me. You wouldn't want the LBGT who's pushing an agenda to clash with PETA, the Animals Association, who's pushing an agenda. Then you don't want your feminists. You don't want to offend your feminism, and they pushing their agenda. You know. Then you got your border ed pushing. So you got to meet. They got to meet and make sure all of these agendas are not. You know what I mean? They doing their own thing. They doing their own thing. This is why they got their characters, right? You see, when they rappers who they pay to keep us stagnant and stupid, when they rappers cross over and start talking about shit that ain't got nothing to do with their agenda, you see how fast they cancel their rapper, right? Now they pay Diddy to keep us entertained and out here distracted. They don't pay Diddy to do all that shit, that extra shit he was doing. And once they cross over and get and blur the lines, then the big guys got to step in and got to cancel something, because they can't have these agendas crossing each other.
He reviews the psychological objectives the United States hopes to achieve in Hostland, objectives based on official U.S. foreign policy. Confers with the chief of the United States Agency for International Development. This knowledge is of vital significance, for his efforts must harmonize all other American activities within Hostland. Writers and publishers.
Writers and publishers. That's why I tell you, you got so much fake news on social media now. Back in the days, guys, we had newspaper and radio. That was it. That's how they get their agendas across. In the newspapers and in the radios. They put it in there and your grandmother believe it. And now she teaching you the shit. You know what I mean? Don't even lie. Your grandmother had that newspaper and that news on. And everything that they put in that newspaper and they put over that news is what she intook, and half y'all raised off of that type of information. And you're not gonna be able to lie to me. Because if you ain't do no reprogramming of your mind, if you took that shit to the heart, and this is the truth, my grandmother told me. and you don't got no results, good results from that shit, then use a fool. But that's how they got it, guys. That's how they make everything fake. Newspaper, radio, and now we got the internet.
Farmers. I don't wear masks. And religious leaders.
There you go. There you go. I told y'all, all our five senses is under attack. You think they ain't injecting that food to weaken your mind, weaken your body, get y'all lazy and dependent, codependent upon them? Come on, bro. Y'all got to be careful what you put into your system. Fuck the system. You better be careful what you put in your system. And again, then they go to the church. I'm gonna play that back. So y'all know the level of attack that we under. We under attack, bro. All of us.
And publishers. Farmers. I don't wear masks. And religious leaders.
The church tells its parishioners, no vaccine, no service for you.
Each will have a perspective that is peculiar to his own particular group. Problems, real or imagined, will come to the fore. This face-to-face, eye-to-eye confrontation with the population provides the PSYOP officer with a tool that is essential to his job. Insight, a look into the minds of a people, a working knowledge of their individual and group needs, attitudes, and ambitions.
I'm a New Yorker. I'm from New York City, Harlem, New York.
I execute judgment on you, COVID-19. I demand a vaccination to come immediately.
Yeah. It's crazy how these hypocrites be in these buildings and y'all suck it up, bro. Y'all be sucking it up. And these hypocrites be in these buildings working for these elites, just making all sorts of money while y'all poor. Y'all know all this scripture, y'all know all this stuff, still poor and still hateful. Still got all that hate in your heart, scriptures in your mouth, and no money in your pocket. And y'all don't see it. And y'all continue to make the same mistakes. It's like you repeat it and you repeat it.
The mighty Hallelujah. Glory. Called peace, who is also the Prince of War.
I thought you said that you were serious about growing on Instagram. Then how come you haven't gotten into my free Instagram growth course that you could get by clicking?
As with most countries that find themselves in the midst of a communist-inspired insurgency, Postland has a population with a doubtful sense of national unity. Postland does have problems, economic, social, and emotional, and subversive insurgents are always aware of them, always ready.
There you go, your girl. Who was talking about Brother Polite earlier? Somebody said something about Brother Polite earlier. I'm gonna be like Brother Polite. I'm not gonna be like Brother Polite, dummy, because I'm not a plant. I'm not a plant. I fund my own nonsense. I fund my own honesty. You see, that go back to the person that asked me what I was building. See, the fact that I'm building 7 other incomes allows me to come up here and spend my own money and be fancy and fly with my own money. So I ain't working on nobody dollar right now. So I don't owe nobody shit, right? When I get on, I don't owe nobody nothing. Ain't nobody gonna be coming looking for me. Ain't nobody gonna be putting cases on me, false cases on me. So learn before you earn, yo, and try to do your research before you start jumping out there. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Social media influencers, them blue checks on Instagram. It's the reason why they want to know all of the people that got the most influence, because those be the people that be in them private conversations with them elites. y'all think Kevin Samuels just yo? What y'all think happened to Kevin Samuels? Y'all think he just y'all think he just passed away? You think he passed away? Or do you think he got that knock on the door from the elites because he made himself very powerful? The man had influence over millions of minds. And when you that influential, then them people gonna knock on your door. Fair use, allegedly. Them people gonna knock on you. They want you to get down. They want you to be a part of this. They want you to be a part of how they can make a situation whatever they want it to be. And they need your influence. They need your influence. You know what I mean? So Kevin would have been a great soldier to put a part of their team. I mean, look, they had this fool. They had this whole dummy. This nigga a whole dummy, bro. He a whole pookie that got good memorization skills. You know what I mean? He a pookie with good memorization skills. But pay attention. I'm going to play that back because it's important to understand how they use these ones as tools. They use these people as tools, celebrities. You know what I mean? Celebrities, actors, rappers, social media influencers now. They use these people to gain intel over the minds over y'all, the people that follow them. That's how they know what y'all like. That's how they know what they could do to manipulate y'all.
As with most countries that find themselves in the midst of a communist-inspired insurgency, Postland has a population with a doubtful sense of national unity. Postland does have problems, economic, social, and emotional, and subversive insurgents are always aware of them, always ready to promise instant solutions for the price of revolution.
I told you guys, get your popcorn, right?
In the more urban areas, where there is less dissension and more of a sense of national integrity, subversives achieve only minor disturbances at best. But real grievances...
I guarantee you Joe Rogan got the call, bro. Now y'all getting it. Now y'all getting it. Y'all getting it.
This must not be ignored. Initial analysis indicates that the target audiences can be broken down into three basic groups: the subversives, the government supporters, and
then us. And then us. Just say it, us. The ones y'all perform that shit on, the one that y'all act that shit out on. And remember, guys, they give everything to the hood first. And the hood, if the hood accept it, then it go global.
and the big group in the middle, the uncommitted civilians. Any PSYOP effort will have to encompass all three groups. Having mentally worked out, altered, rejected, and then finally accepted plans for the military psychological operations program, they now prepare to put them on paper as a formal proposal. They list the major psychological objectives, then the various functional group target audiences, the objectives for each of these functional groups, the severity and stage of subversive insurgency in which the various target groups find themselves.
And I bet you one thing, they ain't got no man group. Ain't no group for the men that do not want to be rainbow, LBGT in the crayon box. And they do not have a group for the man that don't want to be in jail. You know what I mean? The regular man, the average man, black man, white man, Latina man, Asian man, the average man, they have nothing for us, bro. They have no group for us. Peep game, guys. They have no group for us. They will label us, though. The FBI label us as the red pill radicals and the incels and all this extra shit, but they have no group where they trying to get over and give us something. Everybody else got a group that's working, constantly working to make them out to be a victim so somebody could give them something, except for the average man.
the proposed psychological military activities that should be instituted, and the proposed programs to help these activities. After securing recommendations and the necessary approvals from his own people, and making sure that the military psychological operations plan fits in with the USIS country plan already in effect, the plan is checked with the government of Hostland. Approved by them, it now becomes the psychological operations doctrine for the Hostland military forces. To implement the plan, it becomes necessary for Colonel Hamilton to request the support of military training teams, elements of a U.S. Psychological Operations Battalion assigned to his theater of operations. Among the support elements needed are the light mobile printing team with its printing and editorial shelters.
There you go. That's where you get your fake news stories. They need their printers. They need their printing team.
Also needed is a radio team to support existing radio stations, particularly in the back country.
That's where you get your Hot 97s and you get your Power 105s and their agendas, and they be pushing their little agendas on there. You know what I mean? You got your country radio stations and they push their little agendas over there. And you need the radio, and you need the printing team.
An audiovisual vehicle will help to increase the effectiveness of face-to-face communication.
Now, I ain't the smartest person in the world, but I know who taught them that. I know who taught our country this. This come from my guy H. This come from the Big H. So somewhere down the line, y'all must have been chilling with the Big H. Y'all must have interviewed the Big H. Y'all wasn't y'all wasn't trying to take him down. Y'all was studying this man because y'all just took his whole blueprint. I mean, this how he took over there. You know what I mean? He put a TV and a radio station, gave him direct communication, gave him direct brainwash. That's how they brainwashed y'all, yo. Y'all heard it right here. This how they brainwashed y'all. And the people that raised y'all, and then the people that raised them. This is how it went down. This is why our people suffer for the lack of information, because all the information that you ever got pumped in your head was lies and false, fake news. You know who the Big H. Y'all could type it. Somebody type the Big H in there. I'm not saying it on my stream, but y'all could type it. The Big H. Germany. H.
Also needed is a radio team to support existing radio stations, particularly in the back country. An audiovisual vehicle will help to increase the effectiveness of face-to-face communication. And
This is why, and I'm gonna tell you something else too, right? This is why my views go higher when I came up and I look at y'all, my views go higher. But when I came down like today, today's views is not gonna touch any views that I did because I'm not cammed up. I'm not directly looking at y'all, brainwashing y'all with good stuff. See, the good thing about me is that if I was directly looking at y'all, at least I'd be brainwashing y'all with the truth. But that's how that worked, guys. That's how y'all. Remember I told y'all your attention is priceless. Your attention is worth more than your look. Y'all run around here thinking that you gotta look look like this and look like that. Your attention is what everybody need. Niggas don't need your look. Niggas need your attention. Your attention is what's gold. The things you give your attention to becomes you.
loudspeaker team will support tactical operations. One of the initial steps of the military PSYOP program is directed toward the Hostland military establishment itself. Since the military represents the government to the populace, their actions and attitudes can do much to create a favorable image of that government in the minds of the people. Postland soldiers are provided with rules of conduct toward civilians and impressed with the importance of observing them. A soldier's attitude goes a long way toward implementing an effective military PSYOP program. Another portion of the PSYOP program, primarily directed toward the civilian population, is concerned with developing national unity. Once the people start to consider themselves as a national group.
Yo, Marcus, why you always with the Trump hate? They all lie, bro. They all lie to get your vote, bro. They all lie to get your vote. And that's another thing they got y'all hooked to. They got y'all hooked to really believing that your vote count, bro. You want to make your vote really count? Get up off your ass. Go create you something, right? Learn your Constitution and learn your Bible, and you will win no matter who the president is, no matter who the Senate is, no matter who the mayor is. Because one thing is for sure, there's going to always be a change, and all you got to do is adjust to the change. It's not about the strongest or the smartest. It's about the quickest to adapt. And we got to learn how to adapt. We got to learn how to stop losing focus on stupid shit and adapt. That's all. They all lied to get your vote. Trump lied. They lied on Trump. They told us that Trump was giving the money to his friends, to his rich friends. They didn't tell us the truth. They didn't tell us that Trump was trying to keep the jobs over here because everybody running to China. Every company over here running to motherfucking China. And that's why unemployment is like sky high because all of the jobs is overseas. But they didn't tell us that. You know what I mean? They lied on Barack Obama. You know what I mean? The Republicans are lie on Barack. Like, come on, y'all. Stop.
Acceptance of their government tends to increase, thus making penetration by subversives much more difficult. The proper conduct of the individual soldier towards the people is...
At least we agree on something. At least we agree on something. Fuck it, right? It ain't about right or wrong. It's about understanding shit.
a critical factor in creating this sense of national unity.
How did they lie on Barack? They told us Barack was black. That's the biggest lie they told on Barack. Barack not black. Barack not a black man. He didn't represent us. Barack did not want to look out for black folks. Barack did nothing for black folks. And they told us he was going to, and then they told us he did. And he didn't do nothing for black folks. He did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Touring groups of performers are used to attract attention. They are particularly effective in remote areas. Entertainment or diversion of any kind is eagerly awaited.
All right, guys, we got to stop playing now. We got to stop playing. I'm gonna play that back because this part is coming up now. This is where they use your celebrities and your media influences, and this is how they get you. This is how they hook us. All right.
More difficult. The proper conduct of the individual soldier towards the people is a critical factor in creating this sense of national unity. Touring groups of performers are used to attract attention. They are particularly effective in remote areas. Entertainment or diversion of any kind is eagerly awaited.
Get them a loaf of bread and a circus, and they will never revolt. That's what they said long time ago about us. Give them a loaf of bread. Funny how, right? This the Goodbread channel, but it wasn't no good bread. Give them a loaf of bread and a circus. The circus be this entertainment. People don't be wanting to get educated. People be wanting to be entertained, though.
Entertainment teams like this one attract crowds of people wherever they appear.
Getting this education, getting my master's, put me at a level that, of course, more respect from the community, but also to look at myself.
Controlled interaction can result in group belonging and assist in developing a sense of national unity. A continuing effort is made to link the PSYOP program with progress to help the people help themselves. This makes them see the military and the government as positive images. Throughout these efforts, the PSYOP program keeps the people informed. They are told what is being done. They are told why it is being done.
But they pick and choose what they want to be. They pick and choose what they want you to see, though. They pick and choose what they want you to see and what they want you to tell you, what they want to tell you about what you saw.
And they are told how it will benefit them. In areas where the insurgent is openly recruiting and receiving aid from the people, an internal security program takes the greatest PSYOP effort. That if it were not for the insurgents, these restrictions would not be necessary, and that when insurgent activities cease, restrictions will be removed. Medical attention for wounded civilians should be made available to the maximum extent possible. It must be made very obvious to the civilian that his welfare and safety are of great concern to his government. That they are, in fact, the major interest of his government. The complaints of civilians against soldiers.
Everybody use the kids in America, not just the single moms. Everybody use the kid template. That's the use a kid template, right? That's what I call it right there. Everybody use it, even the government.
Soldiers are given full attention. Rules of conduct involving actions of soldiers toward civilians are rigidly enforced. The moment the citizen is convinced that his government is there to serve and protect him, he will begin to support and serve his government.
And there you go. And that transfer of power is where you got Sky Zaddy. There goes Sky Zaddy now. Because Sky Zaddy got all of these modern women believing he gonna come and save them from their choices and decisions. Their poor choices and decisions, boy. So they out here playing games, bro. They out here playing games. They out here worshiping this government and its way of religion. That's who they worship. That's who Sky Zaddy is. Sky Zaddy, the government. The government.
Are rigidly enforced. The moment the citizen is convinced that his government is there to serve and protect him, he will begin to support and serve his government.
The moment the citizen is convinced that his government is there to serve and protect him, he will begin.
That's why, you know what I mean? A chick got one time to try to play that God shit with me. You know what I mean? Especially a single mother that's got multiple men on child support. You can't possibly believe in the real God. You can't possibly believe in the real God, man. You believe in the government, but you don't believe in the real God, man. Because once you make a deal with that government to save your ass, to save face because of your poor choice and your bad decision, because it is your body, your choice out this motherfucker, you have the ultimate power. But then when you revert back to the government saving your ass on a choice that you made, you ain't working with, you ain't following the real God. You better repent. Get to following the real God. Get the government back they shit and get to following the real God.
And to support and serve his government.
With the PSYOP program underway, it becomes necessary to evaluate its effectiveness.
Sky Zaddy is the government. Sky Zaddy is who you worship. That's who y'all down here worshiping. That's who y'all down here worshiping. Sky Zaddy not Yahweh. Yahweh, yo. Sky Zaddy not. That's not Yahweh, yo. He's not.
Improvements and changes must be continually made based on the evaluations of current intelligence. You are looking at the most important man in the world. In
There you
America,
go.
he is called...
There you go. There you go. He ain't God, but he God. He ain't God, but he God. And that's who's under attack. He ain't God, but he God. And that's who's under attack. They have nothing for the average man. They ain't God, but they God.
John Doe. Other countries have other names for him. He is the man without a face. Every man. The average citizen. The man who totals $1 billion when added to all his counterparts all over the world.
Meaning we make all this work. Without us, all that them funds that they doing, all that, it's off our dollar, guys. It's off our dollar. It's off our dollar. They get to worship the Sky Zaddy and they get to do all this whack shit, this modern shit off our dollars, guys. And they have nothing for us. They don't put no respect on our name. No respect on our name. We ain't shit. We dusty. We this, we that. But we the closest thing to God they gonna get to. We are the closest thing to God these modern time women is fitting to get to. Let's wrap this thing on up, man.
Intelligence. You are looking at the most important man in the world. In America, he is called John Doe. Other countries have other names for him. He is the man without a face. Every man. The average citizen. The man who totals $1 billion when added to all his counterparts all over the world. In the final analysis, he will decide the future of the world. Because his importance is clearly recognized by forces that seek world domination, his mind has become a target.
Because his importance is clearly recognized by forces that seek world domination, his mind has become a target.
Man, powerful stuff. Guys, don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. But just let's just rock out. Let's breathe a little. Let's, you know what I mean? And just digest what we just saw, what we just watched. You know what I mean? Those of you that might have to go back and watch it again, feel free to go back and watch it again. But guys, keep in mind, your mind, bro, your mind. They need your mind, but you need your mind. You need to fix your mind because your mind has been adjusted to care about everybody except for you. All right? These people down here doing all sorts of weird shit. What's down is up and what's up is down. You got to regain control. Do not conform with the ways of this world. Ladies, sisters with sense, go get you a man, sister. Before that, though, work on yourself, sister. Like, honestly, like, pour into you, my sister. Like, fuck all that, what everybody else is doing. Fuck what everybody else is saying. Get into a relationship with yourself, my sister. Really look in the mirror, yo. And what you don't like, don't try to hide. Address it and fix it, right? Don't dress it up. Address it and fix it. But get into a relationship with yourself. Pour into you. You know what I mean? Pour into you. Read some books. Start running down some rabbit holes. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is find a topic and go research the topic. And you're going to see that from that topic, you're going to end up wanting to know some other topic. And then from that topic, and it's going to keep going down. You're going to keep going down a rabbit hole of information. Way too many of our sisters take this approach that once they get out of school, they learned everything they needed to learn so they could stop learning. Like, oh, I know it. Learning is a continuous process. You got to every day be learning because this world is evolving every day. So what's new information becomes old new information the very next day. And then another thing that y'all do is, right, y'all cling to information that y'all been having for years and it have not been working for y'all, right? So you would think that why not be in a rush to get rid of that information to get some new information? Y'all is in no rush to get rid of the stuff that y'all been running off of for the past 25 to 30 years. Some of y'all 50, 60 years. And now you done, because that information never panned out to the reality, you gonna sit with the information and just as if you're a victim or you're waiting for something or you're going to get an award because you believed it so long, because you believed the dumb shit for so long. You think there's a reward at the end. You think God gonna bless you. That's a fool. That's a fool right there. God ain't fitting to bless you. God not fitting to bless you for nothing. You ain't getting shit. Yeah, and I said the S word. Oh, he talking about God and he cursing. You distract yourself with that and continue to believe that you deserve something for not doing anything. Okay, you know what I mean? I'm good. I'm gonna tell you like your teacher told you, man. Whether you learn it or you don't, I get paid. I'm gonna get me a blessing for teaching it, for saying the truth. Know what I mean? We don't talk about nothing over here if it's not the truth. With proof. Yeah, so y'all just got to get into a relationship with yourself and start pouring into you, man. A lot of us, we grow up. If you like me, man, you come up from a family where they make it about them. You find yourself catering and simping and pouring into your mother, your cousins, your father. You pouring into more people than you ever poured into yourself. So when you get older, when you get our age, you don't know, but you don't know what it is to pour into you. You don't know how to treat yourself nice. You've been treating everybody else nice. You've been worshiping everybody else, putting everybody else on your pedestal, bro. Knock everybody off your pedestal. Put God on your pedestal, man. Because God gonna be the only person that teach you how to be about yourself. You know what I mean? Once you put God first, he teach you how to put yourself first. And once you know the feeling of putting yourself first, bro, you will never ever put anything else on your pedestal, bro. You know what I mean? You'll never ever put anything else on your pedestal. That be the problem, bro. A lot of us, our reality is not matching our expectation. And now we growing depressed. You know what I mean? We going depressed. And that's a deep state of rest. You know what I mean? Shake that. Shake that. You shake that by moving. You shake that by moving. Stop always thinking that things gonna come right away. Stop with the instant gratification. You know what I mean? All right, y'all, but I'm out of here, y'all. We gonna be back later. Matter of fact, no, stick around. I got some fun stuff for y'all. Matter of fact, we gonna hold the fun stuff, man. We ain't gonna mix it in like that. We had a serious conversation, serious topic today. So later on, I got some old craziness for y'all. Y'all know how we normally do with the body cam. I got one of the most craziest body cams we gonna ever see, y'all. And we have seen a couple of them. But yeah, enjoy the rest of y'all day. I seen a lot of y'all talking crazy earlier. Y'all know me. This, in my opinion, guys, Sunday is not a rest day. Sunday is not a rest day, guys. Don't you dare sit back like if you Jesus, you not Jesus. You didn't do shit these past 6 days, but sit there and complain and try to find a way to get the easy way out. You ain't build no world in 6 days. You ain't do nothing. Stop it. You tried to wean out and tried to, I mean, fake it till you make it, and you was moving in silence, and you was doing all this weird shit these past 6 days. So no, we don't get to rest. We are in poverty, yo. We are in a state of dire need to get out. So we need every single day, every single hour to be about ourselves. We don't need rest. I'm never taking a rest from me, pouring into me and learning something and preparing myself for the week. Sunday is a day to prepare yourself for the week so you don't get in the week and be all stuck and stressed and all this extra shit. No, Sunday is the start of the week. And it's like that for y'all pay. This is why they pay y'all like that. If you notice at your job, right? Y'all pay week start from Sunday to Saturday. So where the fuck y'all get off as Sunday being a rest day, y'all? We got to get out of bad habits. See, that's them old, funky, ancient, ancestral habits that your mama taught you. That ain't work for her. Your mom good? Your mom lit, right? She a millionaire, right? Because I know millionaires that rest on Sunday. I know millionaires, people that's up out of poverty that's resting, drinking margaritas, you know what I mean, on Sunday. But if your mom ain't that, then you ain't got no fucking time to be sitting up here on Sunday scratching your feet. You better start your week so that if anything, you could take a couple hours for yourself on Friday and go ham, because you be done by Friday. By Thursday night, you'll be done with your week, and now Friday you can bullshit. Like, come on now, man. Retool your mind and get rid of those comforting habits that you have set now, thinking that they Bible and they wrong. All right, y'all? Sunday is the rest day. Like we Jesus. Man, y'all better stop playing with Mr. Goodbread, man. Be about yourself every day. Happy Father's Day too, guys. Word up. Happy Father's Day to all fathers. Y'all know how that is, man. They gotta put some respect on us. It's sad that fathers are not respected until they die. Like, why y'all gotta wait till your father died to be talking about how good of a man he was? And ladies, take today as a day to show up. I'm gonna tell you like I tell the fathers on Mother's Day. And we don't want no gift. We don't want no gift. The gift that we want to see you show that kid how to appreciate us. We want to hear you teach that kid how to appreciate us, because we need more of that. I don't really see no women teaching kids how to appreciate a man in this society. All we see is women teaching kids how to hate men. This is why these kids running around here with all this man hate in their heart now. But we need more of that. We want you to show it's about Father's Day is about you showing your kids how to appreciate the father. You know what I mean? It ain't about no gives and no shit. Don't try to set yourself up for next Mother's Day. Oh, I bought you that on Father's Day. Don't buy me shit. You teach them kids how to appreciate me. You know what I mean? And the least you can do is teach them how to put God first. Y'all always trying to put yourself first and jump y'all ass all in something, yo. But all right, guys, y'all wrap up, strap up, drink responsibly. We going to end with a couple of the clips that we played today. Happy Father's Day again. Drink responsibly. Do not play with your life.
Let me tell you something. God gave you a gift that nobody can ever buy you or take away from you, and that's your child. Understand what I'm saying? God gave you a gift that's going to bring gifts before the world, and you going to instill them teachings that nobody can unteach them. They looking at you first as the Superman or the Superwoman. Understand what I'm saying? And I want to say something else. Shout out to them fathers that ain't have a father, but trying to be the best father they could be. They doing everything they can to be a man in their child life. Shout out to them fathers that ain't with the baby mama no more, but still able and still being the best daddy they can. Still providing food on that table even if they don't stay there. They might don't even have a house, but the fact that they baby mama take care of their kids, they still putting food on their table and putting food in their mouth. Shout out to them daddies there, man. That's a real father.
That's a fact, yo. Salute to the fathers. Make sure, dads, it ain't about how much money you got. The real deal with us, we got to teach these kids, our kids, these teachings, especially our sons. The stuff we go over on this channel, make sure you subscribe. If you a real dad, if you care to be a real dad, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because the things that we go over, like today's live, is something that you want to teach your sons and your daughters, because these are the arrows. When God talk about the arrows and he talk about the meek shall inherit the earth and all of that, all he's talking about is information. He's talking about his word, the sacred writing, the information about the land that your kid is going to live in. Those who are able to teach this, to their kids, pass that on, their kids gonna inherit the land, bro. I'm about to create monsters over here with my little man, a monster, but y'all, I love y'all, man, and y'all be about yourself. Stop playing these worldly games with these people for your desires. Bingo. Stop playing these worldly games with these worldly people for your desires. We out here.
33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. So I've got a question for the men. So my comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done.
You know, I'm seeing more and more of these videos, and honestly, it makes me sad because guys have told women why. We've made it very clear why we're walking away. And we're walking away in droves, and it's only going to get worse because you're not hearing why we're walking away. It's very simple. Don't read between the lines. Hear these words. There is absolutely no benefit anymore to being in a relationship with a woman for a man. None. Zero. Zilch. Especially when you consider the risk compared to any potential reward. Roughly 55% of marriages end in divorce, and the guy loses everything. Add into it all the relationships where they weren't married, and the guy lost access to his kids and had to pay mountains of child support, and so on. When you really look at it, there's less than a 1 in 4 chance of having a successful relationship. Would you risk everything you have? Would you risk your children and having access to them, knowing you only had a 25% chance of success? I doubt it. Add to it the expectations that today's women have are beyond absurd. We all joke about the sixes, but the reality is that is most women's expectation. You expect men to give, and offer nothing in return. I'm not saying any of this to be mean, but I am being blunt in hopes you'll hear it, because we've said it over and over and over again. And yet, you're still asking us, why are you walking away? That, in a nutshell, is the crux of the problem. You ask us, but you don't want to hear the response. And if you hear it, you don't want to accept it. My honest advice to you ladies is this. Get a mirror, look in it, and ask yourself, what are we offering to men? Why should men want to be with us? And if your answer is things like you have a great career or job, or that you're going to cook and clean, none of that matters to us. Not in the least. What matters to us? Peace, loyalty, and acknowledgement. Something very, very few women give to their man. And until you're willing to give that, until you're willing to set aside your ridiculous expectations, those numbers you mentioned are only going to get worse.
Just like becoming a submissive woman is so crazy because the power you hold by doing that. I'll give a couple points. One, I was afraid that my feelings won't be valid or like I won't have a voice. What I noticed by just letting my husband make the decisions and just following that, he asks me for all the advice. He comes to me for every question. Yeah. He'll call me, what do you think about this? I don't know what to do. I'm like, wow, what? Yeah. And then I say it, what I think, and then he does it. Mm-hmm. So I end up having a leadership role by just letting him be the final say, but he values my wisdom.
Yeah. I don't want you saying like with that word submit, right? When you look at it from an etymological, you break it down, it means she responds to you. When a man knows that he can trust his woman, he would value her opinion. Mm-hmm. A man, when he knows that his woman has his back, and when he knows that he has that woman that he can trust, he's gonna love her and value her in everything that he does. Yeah. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These older women are really out here in competition with the younger generation. I'm sorry, but it has to be said. These older women who are in their 40s, 50s, even 60s want to be seen so bad and want attention that they're in competition with these younger girls. These women wasted their years, wasted their youth, and are doing any and everything to be seen, and they're not teaching the young girls. So instead of teaching the young girls to do better, you're trying to compete with her. You're in denial that you're getting older. You're doing things with your body, thriving for attention, over-sexualizing yourself at that age. All because you don't want to accept the fact that you mess up your life. They don't have husbands, which they really wanted. They're realizing that, oh wow, I'm at an age where nobody's checking for me. The men are not checking for me at 50, 60 years old, unfortunately. They're looking at the younger women who do desire marriage, who do desire to have children, who are not just out here. So instead of, again, I'm going to try to find a way to be seen and encourage the young girls to do what I'm doing because I don't want them to surpass me. That's what's actually happening. These older women are sitting around telling the young girls, no, girl, live your life, do you, because you're intimidated by her. You don't want her to do better than you. You don't want her to have a chance. You want the chance because you see the men are looking at the younger girls. The men are more attractive and more desirable of the younger women. And it's sad. This is the reality of where we are. The older generation is jealous and intimidated and in competition with the younger generation. And it's unfortunate.
If women are so damn smart, how come they the only motherfuckers that's constantly getting conned and lied to get in the situation they in? Y'all claim y'all are smart as men, but y'all the only people who say, oh, he told me to do this and he talked me into this. When a man gets screwed over, they say it's your fault.
You should have seen it coming.
Should have seen it coming. So why is it we can't say to these women, because let me tell you a stat that should shock you, all of you. Did you know there are 2 times as many black women with children than black men? Man. What does that tell you? Well, I'm going to interpret that for you.
Here we go. Okay.
It tells you that women are fucking the same man.
Boom.
Damn. So y'all know he ain't shit, and you fuck him because you in competition with that other ain't shit bitch to have that ain't shit nigga baby. Because you just saw a video on Instagram of Future, who you know got 9-11 kids, talking about how hard it is for him on Valentine's Day with all these bitches, and bitches jump right on the video to be there with him. So don't tell me how great women are. Don't tell me how women care about marriage. Don't tell me how women care about society, because if they did, the last thing you do is continue to reproduce with somebody you know has shown he is not a father, but you do it because you want to. There's a lot of women who can tell you right now, I had a good man, but he was lame. I had a good man, but it wasn't exciting. Because let me tell you something. A nigga that's in a thug and a jailbird, he'll fuck you better than I can.
Oh, yes, sir.
Because all he got is time on.
Women are not accountable for the simple fact that it would just, it would be us women having to admit that we're ignorant, we're dumb, we're slow, and we're easy to be deceived. We're easy to be deceived and manipulated and played with. So if women was to be, oh yeah, I'm accountable for I ignored these red flags. Most women are not going to say where they messed up that they were slow, ignorant, delayed. They're not going to admit that, because that's what accountability is all about. Admitting where you went wrong at, where you went wrong. And women are simply, we're just not going to do that, because we're not wrong. We're always right. Men are wrong. Men know better and should be doing better.
A report on your mother. Yes, I did. On your mother. Yes, I did, because I'm not going to take it no more. I don't have to take this anymore. So what's more important to you? Your credit or your mother? I should not have to choose between the two. Well, you gonna choose today. Because who has to do this? Who doesn't even go through this mess? I'm sick of this stuff. You said the last time you wasn't gonna do it again, and then here we are. And you know not to mess it. Now you messing stuff up. You messing stuff up for my future. I can't even get a house. Are you kidding me? Oh no! You already did this before. This is how I found out the first time when I was trying to get those student loans. I couldn't even go to college. You keep messing up my y'all dare not be here? I've been here. I can't do this no more. But you already police on me. Yes, I did. On me. Yes, I did. Because I'm sick of you ain't never going to change. You keep promising me. You keep promising me. All I've done for this family. I have made sure you have went to college. I have made sure that you had professional everything up. It don't matter how I did.
That shit is crazy. Shit crazy, y'all. Yo, before we get on out of here, Zenobia. You was talking in riddles, yo, cause you came in here with man hating energy, talking about men be doing the same, and then you went to how your mom's is like this mother in this video right here. So do you see where you get your man hate energy from? Do you see why man can't lead you? So you don't gotta remind man of what men are supposed to do. You gotta focus on you, man, and that's what we do on this channel. You don't gotta tell us what man's supposed to do. What are you supposed to do? What's wrong with you that you know what I mean? What you lack? Because you obviously had a mother like this, so you had a masculine werewolf of a mom's. So now you gonna remain. You know you got those traits. You not far. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. So if you struggling with getting a man, you probably want to scale back that masculinity. You want to return to your feminine nature. You know what I mean? But I find that odd how before you told on yourself how you was gonna come in here with the boy versus girl energy, you got that boy versus girl energy, but then you tell us that you got a mother, you got a mother like that. You know what I mean? Come on now. Because it say comment don't mean you should share your mentality or share your mental illness. I mean, just say comment. You don't got to. You could sit and watch the whole live stream. You do not have to comment because it say comment. You know what I mean? Don't make things about you, and you won't look like an asshole all of the time.
Let me tell you something. God gave you a gift that nobody can ever buy you or take away from you, and that's your child. Understand what I'm saying? God gave you a gift that's going to bring gifts before the world, and you going to instill them teachings that nobody can unteach them. They looking at you first as the Superman or the Superwoman. Understand what I'm saying? And I want to say something else. Shout out to them fathers that ain't have a father, but trying to be the best father they could be. They doing everything they can to be a man in their child life. Shout out to them fathers that ain't with the baby mama no more, but still able and still being the best daddy they can. Still providing food on that table even if they don't stay there. They might don't even have a house, but the fact that they baby mama take care of their kids, they still putting food on their table and putting food in their mouth. Shout out to them daddies there, man. That's a real father.
Not just my delivery, it hurts your feelings to know that all this time you thought your mother or your father had it figured out, and they did not. They raised you in a way that has you conditioned to believe that your habits and the things that you have your mind set on are not going to put you in a position of forward progress. A lot of y'all and I'm speaking like this without cursing because a lot of y'all inboxed me earlier and, it really touched you in a, good way. Y'all was letting me know, the video earlier really touched you in a good way when I really started speaking on how our children get of age like we do. Some point in their life, they get to a certain age where they realize you didn't teach me anything of value. You only bought me stuff. You only purchased me material stuff and spent time with me, but the time wasn't even valuable because you didn't leave me with any nuggets to make it out here. So we watch our children repeat the same generational curses that we've repeated for decades, and a lot of y'all is sad because instead of confronting that, you deflect. You come on my page and you don't understand the responsibility of the content that you're listening to. You don't understand the weight of what this carries.
Just becoming a submissive woman is so crazy because the power you hold by doing that. I'll give a couple points. One, I was afraid that my feelings won't be valid or I won't have a voice. What I noticed by just letting my husband make the decisions and just following that, he asks me for all the advice. He comes to me for every question. He'll call me, what do you think about this? I don't know what to do. I'm like, wow, what? And then I say it, what I think, and then he does it. So I end up having a leadership role by just letting him be the final say, but he values my wisdom.
I don't want you saying like with that word submit, right? When you look at it from an etymological, you break it down, it means she responds to you. When a man knows that he can trust his woman, he will value her opinion. A man, when he knows that his woman has his back, and when he knows that he has that woman that he can trust, he's going to love her and value her in everything that he does. Period.
Yeah.
I
think it's black men. I'm going to say it from me to you. This is just straight up. Black women, 80% of them, they don't like you. 80%, I'm probably sure it's more. But at least 80% of black women in this day and age, it don't matter how old or young they are, they have a general dislike and hatred for you. That's your real climate, brother. See, I'm not telling you something that you ain't already felt. I'm telling you something that you know. I think it's more too. I truly think it's more too. I think it's more too. And I'm tired of being the one that's not talking about it. I've said this. This is one of the main reasons I don't have a lot of black female friends. I really don't, y'all. I don't. I couldn't imagine what it would be like as a black man. It's an abundance of you that think that all men are dogs, but we all know it means black men. The undertone of all relationship conversations is black men ain't shit. Why these black men ain't doing this? I can't bond with y'all, sis. I cannot bond with y'all when you have a general dislike and vitriol and hatred for our male counterpart. Do you not understand how goddamn psychotic that is?
Single mothers oftentimes do everything but fuck their sons. And they have that emotional stability that is built within the home. A single mother is a fuckboy factory. Single women become so emotionally dependent upon their children, specifically their sons, that they will convince themselves that they don't need a man until they encounter the space from being alone to genuinely being lonely. And now we're having to deal with the imbalance that was set in the household because this boy is not your son, he is your man. When you want to cuddle, you go lay down with them. When you want some emotional time, you go watch movies with them. You touch them and you rub them and you massage them. You do these things, everything that you would do to a man to suffice that. A lot of women even dress their sons like the man that broke their heart.
This is tough.
So I think that that's the dichotomy. Like, I'm not saying that your children shouldn't have weight in your relationship, but what I am saying that we have to look at it from an integral space. Like, why do they feel this way? Especially if you're dealing with a man-child who is uncomfortable with your new partner, and this man-child is not necessarily a little boy anymore.